Hey guys, this is the Binti LOVE podcast. I'm okay. This is the sports review. Okay, let's talk about the 2026 French Open champions. Let's see who they were. Okay, so the French Open main champions included was Alexander Zverev, Mara Andreev, and they also had two people playing each other, and there was Marcel Grand Ollers and Haruchi Sabalas. Okay. And so that was pretty much for the French Open. So a lot of people played, but those are the winners. Um, so Alexander defeated Flavio, and they had more than like four sets. So it's kind of like over five sets for his first um, this is like his first major final. Okay, moving on. Now let's look into the Tour of the France scores. Yeah, so the Tour of the France. Let's look into that. And let's see who won that. And that's mostly when they ride around. And I know I was watching it, and someone was like almost fell off a mountain. I was like, okay, they are not playing about this, you know. So for the Tour of the France, the winners were let's look into this again. The winners were uh, okay. Let's take a moment here. Okay, they're giving me everything back for 2026. Winners for 2026. Okay, so the winners were on Tajay Pagazar won. He was like for basically the this is like his fifth title. And he also was the leader for some other people, and so Isaac the Tour also was there, and so this is normally in France, and it's with when they ride around the country, they ride around not the country, but they ride around the kind of around the where they have all the mountains and things of that sort at. So I thought that I was watching that. I thought, okay, this is insane what they're doing, but they're really like people that are very good cyclists, and so they ride. In other countries they have these like, how you ride on hills and things of that sort. So they have all these cliffs, and sometimes when they fall on the bikes, they can also actually, if there's no fence there, they can fall down off the cliff. So that's why I watched that, because I'm like, you feel like you can do stuff like that. They're the ones that are actually doing that. And so I just think it's like amazing what they're able to do. Okay, what else is happening in sports? Okay, LeBron James is going to move to the 76ers. Yeah, so that was surprising to me. I'm like, okay. So LeBron James is actually going to move allegedly to the 76ers. So let's look into that. Because I was like, okay, I thought he was happy. Where's that? But sometimes you just, a lot of times it's about money. It's also about the coach and the relationship you have with the players. And so it's not always about money. And sometimes it's like you just don't feel comfortable on the team anymore. So the 76ers is in Philadelphia. Um, Currently he's with the Lakers. And so he's going to move to the 76ers on the Philadelphia 76ers. So he's, a lot of people don't really, when they get with the Lakers, they normally don't leave. So I was really surprised that he's going to leave the Lakers and go all the way to Philadelphia. So that's what's happening with LeBron James. Uh, uh, well, it's going to be allegedly an $8 million deal for 2 years. I thought they make more money in that, so I'm surprised that that's all he's getting. Because normally they make more money than just like $8 million with a 2-year deal. But apparently, allegedly, that's what he's going to get when moved to the 76ers. It's going to be $8 million for 2 years. So $4 million a year, that's definitely not bad money, though. I think they make more money in baseball. So, But I know they're probably going to miss him being on the 76ers. Being on the Lakers and him moving to Philadelphia when he's been there for so long, So, that was surprising to me. Okay. Now let's look at the women's WNBA. What's going on with that? Because, I heard a lot about Caitlyn. Things she's done. But let's see what else is going on. Okay. So, Minnesota is basically in a lead for the WNBA. And, this is women's basketball. They have, it's 22-6. Golden State is 19-8 with over around 70% in terms of their wins, in terms of the rate of their wins. Now, the Las Vegas Aces is 8-8. It's about a little lower than 70% with their win record. And Dallas Wings is 18-9. And so their win record is a little bit over 67%. And also the Indiana Fever is 17-10. So their win record is a little bit below 64%. Okay, so that's what's going on with them. So, the WNBA is doing really, really good. They are pushing through, having more games and having more games in their season, which is good because a lot of times the women wasn't having as big as a game as they thought they were going to have within the basketball. So they're basically they're good with their basketball standings, and so that's important to know. Anything else really happening with them? Not really that I know of. Just a lot of talk about Caitlyn has been lately. But other than that, it's been pretty much, Caitlin Clark. It's been really the one that people have been talking about lately, and mostly, and so she's doing really, really good. And also other people that they've been talking about have been doing really good, and things of that sort. Now let me see what else we want to talk about here. Let's look into the World Cup. It seemed like a lot of celebrities went to the World Cup. What celebrities went to the World Cup? Let's hear about that. I was surprised to hear so many people were there. Let's see, because a lot of celebrities did show up there to the World Cup. I heard about a few of them. Okay. Let's see who went there. They might not have that here. about who went there, but I know it was allegedly it was Rihanna, and um also it was Beyonce was there. So yeah, that was a lot. I wouldn't expect them to be there, but I was surprised to see them go to the World Cup. Um, yeah, so I think those are like the biggest celebrities that were there at the World Cup. Also, let's see. Okay, so Brad Pitt was there for 2026. For 2026. Um, I'm like, we haven't heard about Brad Pitt. If he was there, that's amazing. Because a lot of times we don't hear that, when Brad Pitt does things, we never hear about him doing it. So I make sure it's for the 2026 year. Okay, so Brad Pitt and Matt Damon were both allegedly there. Kylie Jenner. So a lot of celebrities were there at the World Cup, and that was nice to see because to see them in the stands, you're like, oh, okay, yeah. And so Rihanna and ASAP Rocky was there. Justin Bieber was there. Um, Madonna was there. Um, David and Victoria Beckham was there. Tom Brady. So a lot of people were there. So I was like, okay. They were like, okay. I didn't go last year, but I'm definitely going to the World Cup. Everyone was like, I'm going to the World Cup this year. So I like that, and that was really cool. So a lot of people went there, and I feel that's great, because if you're a celebrity, you would probably want to go to like the World Cup. Like, let's go to the World Cup, guys. So I thought that was really cool. But okay, so this is the Binti LOVE Podcast Sports News. Make sure to hit that subscription button right now. And make sure to tell 10 people to subscribe to the channel also. And make sure to make love your guide and source. Okay. Bye-bye.